Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 22 of Rally Sport Challenge. Finally, after many months of stalling on this, we are at the very end of the game with the very last event. Another series of downhill events on ice and snow and stuff. Oh boy. And yeah, this is one of these things where when I really just think about it, I feel just the idea, the way I kind of tackled this Let's Play, I think was a lot of why it took me so long to get out. I've kind of been, I guess the more I look into it, the more I've been trying to understand a lot more about why I've been struggling more in terms of getting out content and being a bit more prolific. I think a lot of times I just like to take it easy. I have this been, especially as I've been getting older, just with a lot of the stress and a lot of the stuff I've been going through, the anxiety and depression and all that sort of stuff that's been happening. I think there's a lot of days where I just don't want to have to think about doing anything, and then I don't as a result. And I get that it's, as a content creator, that's like the worst thing you could do. But I think that would probably have a lot to do with it. So a lot of this would get put on the back burner because I didn't record the voice as it was happening live. And I think going forward, there was a serious thought I had mentioned about even earlier in this playthrough about putting off Let's Plays after this. And I think a lot of it really just came down to this failure to understand that I just don't like doing it in this sort of format where I'm doing it after, or I have to rewatch the footage back. I know as a result it makes me sound maybe a little, excuse me, it makes me sound a little less on the professional side, where I can kind of think about my thoughts a little bit better than compared to doing it on the spot. But I think a lot of it just, when I really break it down, part of the reason I think it works better to do it live is because I can kind of just go off of things just like one after the other. And like even if my thoughts are mostly focused towards the game, or you're just saying oh okay, or various small little things, I think that more live genuine reaction of stuff I feel helps. And I'm more, focused on just getting things out kind of quicker and sooner and stuff, and the less I have to think about sitting down and record and voicing new stuff, the best. Now, that's not to say I don't like doing voiceovers and narration stuff. I do enjoy doing that, but that's on a bit of a different scale. Like, that's something a little bit, like, I can focus on differently. But I think it's stuff like this is just, I don't know, this sort of format I've come to accept, I think, isn't for me. And I think that has a lot to do, and I've moved my mic in case it sounds a little different. That has, I think, a lot to do with just why I was so slow on this. Because there was a lot of times I just wake up, or a lot of things thinking, oh god, I gotta do this, and then I wouldn't find the mood for it, and so I wouldn't do it as a result. I mean, I take and I take full responsibility of that. I fully admit that was a mistake on my part to treat that as such. But kind of this whole thing, at least these last couple parts especially, and kind of committing myself to doing the full commentary for this last part here, it kind of gives me that sort of realization that maybe things aren't as bad as they could be, and I just need to kind of go back to that sort of approach. Interesting flip there, by the way. Gotta go back to this sort of approach that I feel is easier for me to do, and I think that's why I gotta go back to more doing these things live again. And I don't know why I really gave up on doing that, especially on the Twitch side of things. Just live for me is just easier to do, and I think if I focus more towards doing things live again, it will make my life a lot easier. It'll make my life easier, and you get the more like genuine like reactions as they happen, and I think that's for the best. I mean, sure, my mind is also focused on concentrating on the games and whatnot, so I'm not the best at commentary for that reason, but I think it's just one of these things where it's like doing it live on the spot allows me to really kind of work things out better in a weird way. It's hard. It's admittedly a bit difficult to explain, and I know I'm not really doing the best job of that. But it's the sort of thing where it's like when I do it on the spot, I don't have to worry about, oh, I gotta then go into editing and then I gotta, I have to spend all this time doing this. I mean, in the editing, I can go in editing and usually easily do it if I have to, like, maybe edit something out. That's a lot easier to do compared to doing it like this. It's just kind of a lot of how my weird thoughts are, my weird brain is, all that different sort of stuff. But I think going forward, I'm gonna try to remind myself live is best. Live for me at least, live is best, and that I need to focus more on live again, because this wasn't live, and you kind of saw the sacrifice result. I could have pushed these out quicker, but I guess the mood just had a lot to do with it, and I can only apologize for that. But yeah, apart from that though, these last couple events I didn't do too great, but whatever. It's not like I don't think you unlock anything after this point, so what? It's not like I'm really missing anything. But yeah, apart from that though, that's everything done in the game. And that's Rally Sport Challenge. Honestly, the first half of this game's pretty good. Really, really enjoyable. It's a nice, good challenge. Really good feel, all that sort of stuff. It's a fun game for that first half. Then the second half happens, and then the difficulty ramps up to absurd amounts, and then I stop having fun. And it's that sort of stuff where it just goes from being, and you can see the dates of when I recorded this. Like, this was October. It just went from that being that sort of enjoyable to just being just a pain in the ass. And that's why I'm glad to be finished with this game, because honestly, I don't want to play it again. I've finished it once, and I think that's good enough for me for now. I don't want to have to think about this game going forward. But yeah, that's it though for Rally Sports Challenge. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your patience. I apologize it's taken me so long to get this out. But I hope to see you all on the next video, whatever it may be.